Good day, everybody. It's Dread. This is Miss Valley Entertainment News. How's everybody doing today? You know, there's sometimes I report on things and I'm just not happy to report it. Quite honestly, just not happy to be reported. Avowed's chance of success was just destroyed by its own art director. It's hard to get good news nowadays, isn't it? Look over here. Witcher 4 in jeopardy. CD Projekt Red designer mocks gamers and lies about DEI policies. Now, if we go back here, we have to go back a ways, but I know a few months ago I did do a video about the Witcher 3, or Witcher 4, excuse me, going woke. I believe if I go back far enough here, I could find it. Give me a moment. We're just hanging out. It's cool. You know, here it is. Kiss Witcher 4 goodbye. 4 months ago, it's going woke, where I talked about the fact that they had hired an activist to be in charge of the game. That was 4 months ago. Got 844 views. Yeah, it's nice. Nice of view count. Cool. But you know, sometimes I know things and I say them and people are like, what's he talking about? And 4 months later, they're like, and I'm like, I did point it out 4 months ago. I mean, this shouldn't be a shock. Doesn't mean it's pleasant news, but it shouldn't be a shock. But yeah, it's hard. It's Avowed. It's The Witcher. It's people running their mouths on X or Blue Sky or Twitch or an Etch-a-Sketch or tweeting or typing, texting, people giving hand signals in the middle of the night to each other, flashlight beaming little code signals across the sky where they're like, ee, at each other. It's that kind of stuff going on by people involved in the gaming industry that are sometimes ruining games that are actually pretty decent. Now, let's remember, you could consider Baldur's Gate 3 controversial, and it would be to a lot of people. A lot of people, to play Baldur's Gate 3, had to put aside, for instance, the fact that your character, no matter what the sex of your character was, and let's just start out right away by saying, in the character creator, you weren't choosing a sex, you were choosing a body type, which some people didn't like. It was certainly hinting at the way things are going, okay? But your character, no matter which sex or which body type you chose, could romance any other character in the game, no matter what sex or body type or pronoun or whatever they used in Baldur's Gate 3. To some people, that was like, ew, that's gross. Why is that in the game? Right? Some people, that's the reaction. I completely understand. I'm not for or against the reaction. I'm just saying I understand that people would have that reaction. Some of those people still played the game. Why? Probably because the game was damn good. In spite of there being something they didn't like, the game itself was meaty. It was good. It was Game of the Year. It was good. Now, having said that, what Baldur's Gate 3 didn't have was project designers or lead artists going on the internet and creating controversies with the dumb shit that spills out of their mouth. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 didn't have that. That, together with a good game, pushed them over the top. But we've seen more and more, and we know this to be a fact, more and more AAA companies, especially the larger companies, have got an influx of people whose main goal is not creating games. Right? We know that. Their main goal is to piss people off. Their main goal is to push an ideology or something and make it in your face so that you will hate it. That's their goal. It's not the goal of everybody making the game, but it is the goal of some people. And if you get too many of those people, you get a problem. That's what's happening with The Witcher 4. We've got people opening their yap about stupid shit. That's what's now happening with Avowed. People opening their trap and saying stupid ass shit that should get them fired from the company with just cause, turfed, and an apology issued. I will stand by that. I'm still an avowed fan, okay? I am still a fan of this game, and I think it looks really good from everything I've seen. However, I will give you this. The company should do the right thing, and I 100% guarantee it will not. And that's sad, because these kind of people live in an echo chamber where they think they're the hero of the story and everybody else is evil and out to destroy them. They live in a fantasy world. And I'm not talking about the one in the game. They live in a fantasy world within their own head because they're not well. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to talk a little bit about Avowed here, okay? But first, I just want to mention one other thing. I've had some comments the last few weeks from people on my website, on my YouTube channel here, talking about why don't you bring more positive content. All right. So reviewing new previews of Avowed, I was very positive about this. It's got 29 views so far. It could go either way, whatever. My last video, Ubisoft made Sunground Studios angry, 74 views. Here's a positive thing where I talk about how I don't like people who use clickbait and ragebait titles for their videos. At 29 views. Here I put out a video on 2 new games that I saw that look interesting. A short little video. Hey, I like these games. They look cool. I got 6 views. Let's scroll down. Here's a video from 5 days ago where I'm commenting about Ubisoft doing things that only benefit Ubisoft and not the players and customers. 226 views. Right beside it, 8 days ago, Happy International Men's Day. My great thoughts on a great day. 64 views. Over here, my thoughts on the HR simulator. You know, and right here, more Dragon Age stuff. 107 views, 66 views. Talking about BioWare and the fake journalist, 93 views. Another BioWare and the Veilguard, 51 views. Here, I found my passion again. I put this out a month ago, talking about how I found my passion to go back to modding again after about a year away from it. I got 36 views. The video right beside it, where we talked about what a disaster Star Wars Outlaw is for a real Star Wars fan, 293 views. Are you seeing a pattern? Are you seeing a pattern? I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying, are you seeing a pattern? Coming disaster to this Dragon Age, the Veilguard, 832 views. Look, I mean, my negative videos get way more views than my positive videos. And I require interaction on videos. I'm a content creator. I don't require you to subscribe to my channel if you don't want to. I don't require you to send me money. I don't make any money off my channel. I'm not here to try to get as many people as I can on this channel so I can make thousands of dollars. All I do is I react to what people react back to me with. And if I don't get positive views on positive videos, you won't see very many positive videos, except when I just damn well feel like it and screw what everybody else thinks. So if you're wondering why there's so many negative videos on the internet, that's why. People all over the world go to the internet for one thing. Porn. Oh, they go for 2 things. Porn and rage. Apparently they go hand in hand. But it's true. People go to spout off terrible opinions and gather together with others who have those terrible opinions and just launch attacks on people and be boisterous. That's what people go to the internet for. Talking about that, I don't have it pulled up here, but Dr. Disaster. Hey, let's pull it up. I can't spell, apparently. Dr. Disaster, okay? Let's talk about some of the videos Dr. Disaster has put out lately, because he's jumped on the Avowed thing. All right? Let's start back here. As of 2 days ago, okay? And he's putting out about 3 or 4 videos a day, is Dr. Disaster. Dr. Disaster has almost 95,000 subscribers, okay? Whatever. When I first started out, I put out 3 or 4 videos a day as well, but nobody cared. Anyways, another thing, okay? So 2 days ago, he jumps in, Avowed is caught hiding the pronoun stuff in their game. Well, I talked about that. There was nothing hidden at all. I did a little video on that. I did some talk on my Discord channel. Nothing was hidden. But anyways, busted. Hiding. You know, he's drawing up support for himself. 33,000 views, okay? And then right over here, 1 day ago, Avowed art director confirms the game is polluted with woke crap. The game is toast. Already 34,000 views. Oh, here's 21,000 views from 14 hours ago. Avowed is blatant woke slop. Microsoft and Obsidian are in deep trouble as more details emerge. Except there's actually no more details than the other 2 videos. He's just rehashing the same things in different ways with rage bait and clickbait titles. Now, I like Dr. Disaster for the most part. I'm subscribed to him. I'm not saying Dr. Disaster is a bad person, but I'm saying Dr. Disaster knows how the game is played. And he, people, is not the only one, okay? I, as a content creator, get this. He's doing what gets him the most views. What gets him the most views is screaming as loud as he can about how the world is coming down. This TV show, this movie, this game is destroying everything, and you need to stand up to it right now. That's what he's doing. It's rage bait and it's clickbait is what it is. He's not really giving you a lot of facts, and the facts he have are twisting to his own purpose. Now, all of you are entirely entitled. In fact, I implore you to please go ahead and make your own decision on Avowed. Whether or not you want to watch it and see what happens and maybe purchase it, whether you want to run out and grab it, maybe you want to say, no, I'll never buy shit from that studio ever again. Whatever you make up your minds to, you're allowed to. But I will caution you, if you're turning to rage bait and clickbait to get your opinions, be aware they are manipulating you. You have to be aware of that first. If you're not, you're just following the mob mentality. And you're not actually using your gray matter, your brain noodles. I'd like to think the people here all use your brain noodles constantly, but I'm guilty of not at times as well. And quite honestly, all the people watching this video hopefully probably are not just my subscribers. So I'm imploring you, use your common sense on things and don't just get your news or your info from one source. Go elsewhere. And even when somebody says this terrible thing happened, all right? This terrible thing happened with its own art director making these terrible, stupid comments. Ask yourself, have I seen the game lately? Have I seen what they're sharing about the game, the gameplay, and what they're saying about it? Does it still look, pushing that aside, does the game itself look good? If it does, great. Then maybe you want to factor in the art director's comments, or maybe you just want to say, hey, I don't know. Maybe he's just going to loose screw and he shouldn't be saying those things. But he's just one person who worked on this game, who's just got insane comments that they should keep to themselves. Okay? Maybe. Either way that you decide is fine by me, because you make your own decisions, just like I make my own decisions, and we live with them. I'm at an in-between stage right now. I will tell you, I am at an in-between stage with Avowed. I am very positive on the game and the gameplay that I have seen so far. Extremely positive. But I don't like what people like this say, and I don't like when they go unpunished, as if that's okay for them to say and do these things. So I'm in the place right now where I'm going to wait till the game comes out. I'm going to watch people play it, and I'll make my decision based on that. Unless a bunch more stuff comes out. If more stuff comes out, it might turn my stomach to the point where I just say, screw it. I don't know. But that's where I'm at. So remember, people like Dr. Disaster, as amusing as they are and as good a source as they can be for information, and they are, at times. Please understand the manipulation that goes on. You are being manipulated to be one of the crowd. Also, I want you to remember something else. Avowed videos started coming out last February, I believe, February of 2024, where they started showing some gameplay from it, and there was a bunch of people who immediately hopped on there. Oh, Obsidian is shit. Oh, the Outer Worlds was terrible. Oh, this is crap. Blah, 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 blah. Most of them complained, and when you tried to narrow down what they're actually complaining about, they were complaining that, hey, the game was too bright. It's the art. If you don't like it, you don't like it, whatever. Maybe you like to go play Dark Souls for the rest of your life. Go ahead. And they were also complaining, oh, well, the combat doesn't look and feel good. It doesn't feel right when you hit something. It doesn't look. I don't know how they felt anything. They were watching a video. But the Avowed directors actually responded and said, we're still working on combat. Combat has been outsourced to another company because first-person combat is not our specialty. It's not. Avowed admitted that. Obsidian admitted that. So they outsourced it to, I think, the people who did Warhammer. And they said they're still working on it and it's still being tweaked. There's lots of time till the game comes out. At that time, I think the game was going to come out in November. I think now it's coming out next February. And they said, don't worry, we have lots of time. Now the videos are coming out showing the gameplay, and people are like, whoa, the combat's been fixed. The combat now looks and feels super. So sometimes you could jump on a game and be too critical about it. Okay. But what I want to say about Dr. Disaster is he started talking about 2 days ago. Avowed's been news for 10 months. I went back through his videos, and I went through every one of his videos all the way down to the beginning. He has never done a video on Avowed before. So understand this. If a big, fairly big, he's got, 95,000? Almost 95,000 subscribers. If a big YouTuber like this doesn't cover a game, it's because the game is not in his wheelhouse. It's not something he really cares about. It's not something he feels like the people who watch his channel care about, and they're just not covering it. He had no comment at all on Avowed, at least as far as doing a video itself on it. He might have made comments in other videos. He never did a video on Avowed up till 2 days ago. Not until somebody opened their Yap and he got a chance to pounce and bring his massive 95,000 haters with him. So understand, you can read all the comments on these videos from Dr. Disaster and his people, okay? And you're going to be seeing a lot of really nasty, nasty comments. You're going to be like, wow, everybody is dropping Avowed. No one's going near it anymore. Wait a second. The game was never in Dr. Disaster's wheelhouse. He was never going to play it anyways. Or he would have covered it before. This is not a game he's interested in. Only when he can criticize it. It's not a game that his people are interested in. Because if they were, they would have been like, why aren't you covering Avowed? It would have been like that back in February. So Dr. Disaster and his people, most of them are not likely to ever really be interested in Avowed. So for them to be like, we wash our hands of Avowed, we're never going near Obsidian again, blah, 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 blah. Again, think about what you're hearing and who you're hearing it from. Are you hearing it from real Obsidian fans who were excited about this game beforehand and are now saying, whoa, that's not cool? Or are you just hearing from people who never would have purchased the game anyways? Things to think about, people. It's things to think about. So I want to leave you with this. Avowed's chance of success was just destroyed by its own art director. To some degree, that's true. I believe this will bring their numbers down a lot, even if nothing else is ever said between now and February that's negative. This will bring down the number of people playing the game, the number of people purchasing the game. Absolutely. It is a shot in the dark that has hit yourself in the throat, and you are bleeding out. And it's not good. It's not good. And how any company could be okay with a major part of its team turning off people from purchasing their product, I don't understand. it's only been a day or two. Maybe the axe will still fall, but I really don't think so. I really don't think so. Yeah, this person's got issues, man. They've really got issues. Let's see a little bit of what Sungrant Studios has to say about this.
Warning. Never assemble all the Infinity Stones or... Oh, the video started. Sorry, I was just reading the instructions for that, but I'll get back to it later.
Yeah.
So today we will be discussing a game called Avowed. This keeps popping up in my YouTube feed,
Without.
and I'm not sure why.
I too.
I really just want cool, positive, interesting stuff.
And I'm with Jarrell here. That's exactly what I want. I want cool, positive, interesting stuff. The fact that I keep having to point out all these atrocities by whacked in the head people is really, really sad. It's sad for the gaming industry, and it's sad for just humanity in general. It really is.
In my YouTube feed, but I guess we'll be looking at this today. So the reason why we are taking a look at Avowed is because of some problems with their art director, who has been basically sabotaging the game on the internet, which is very unfortunate. I think the game looks fine. I actually was interested in looking at the game until I saw what this lead art director was saying.
And as I pause with this on the screen, I know you're all reading it, but just let me say, companies and studios need to have a policy in place where if you are negative on the internet and bringing trouble to the studio or to its products, you are fired. And it just seems like any company nowadays that you can accuse of being woke or DEI infested or fringe or whatever, they won't do it. They welcome those people in because, again, they're this echo chamber where they all get together and hug it out, and we're the heroes of our own story. Everybody else is evil, and so they protect each other, and it's gross and it's sick and it's kind of incestuous and it's disgusting.
About people and to people, and it's very concerning when you see people like that, because it means that their attitudes, their philosophies are in the game. They directly drive the philosophy and attitude of the game.
To a certain degree, sure.
So Matt Hansen is the art director of Avowed. Avowed is developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios. The game looks fine to me. I don't wish any ill will toward the game or Matt Hansen.
If you to say, Jarrell?
So I want to make sure that we approach this from just a neutral position here and just describe what's going on and why it's pretty clear that the game is not going to sell well, and it's basically because of one person, because of Matt Hansen. So,
and let me just say, when I say that I wish Obsidian would go and fire him and issue an apology to the fans, it's not so I can go and find this person online and thumb my nose and go, say I got you fired, you idiot. That's not it entirely. It's what is deserved for acting like that, because you don't do that to your customers. You don't do that to your customers. And I don't know if people in Matt's part of the world, in his little spectrum, in his little bubble, understand that when they piss off these people, it's not just pissing off a few little people, it's pissing off hundreds of thousands and millions of people. They don't understand that they're the small minority, and they're not going to change the world, no matter how hard they try, because the world is resistant to the stupidity that they're offering. Maybe they need to wake up a little bit.
Matt Hansen has been throwing tantrums on the internet via social media. And I was going to write an industry speech. I was going to put on the suit until I investigated the situation further. So here's the suit. Sorry, but this topic is not deserving of the suit and tie. And the reason being is I do not punch down on children or people who lack the mental capacity to defend themselves were I to address them directly.
Well put, Jarrell. Really, honestly, well put.
I do not direct professional critique towards people with mental health issues, and Matt Hansen fills all of that criteria.
Yes.
So I would feel really bad for directing.
And that's not laughing at Matt. That is a uncomfortable, gosh darn it, yes. He really does. He needs help.
I do not know what pronouns Matt has selected for himself or whatever, but people who are unwell like him usually go by ma'am. So
people like Matt who are unwell usually go by ma'am, Jarrell says. He slays me. Yeah. Just not mentally or emotionally well. Oh, by the way, when it comes to choosing your pronouns, fuck your pronouns, everybody. Fuck your pronouns. You get what you got.
So for the remainder of the video, I will be addressing Matt as ma'am, as I want to be respectful to Matt. And I don't want to get pronouns wrong in this situation.
Of course not.
So for years, just a little bit of background, I've worked for years in disability services, in training and assessment. I work directly with people with disabilities, whether that be physical or mental disabilities. So I'm uncomfortable critiquing this ma'am directly, as it would be akin to critiquing one of my previous clients with mental health disabilities.
Okay. I'm actually going to leave it right there. I want to encourage you, this will be linked down below. Please go check out Sungrand Studios and the rest of his video on this. But more than that, go check out Sungrand Studios. Jarrell is an amazing fellow, and he puts out great videos on a number of different things. He covers all these kind of topics that affect our lives in gaming, but he also talks about music. He talks about writing. He talks about making his own games. He's a very, very well-spoken, well-thought-out man, compassionate, intellectual, and very, very even-tempered. And I really, really enjoy his stuff, and I cannot recommend him enough, people. Why he doesn't have more than Dr. Disaster, like, no offense to Dr. Disaster, but Sungrand Studios should have about 10 times what Dr. Disaster has, because he's got a positive channel. Sungrand Studios is a positive channel, people. You want positive gaming stuff. You're not getting too much of it from me, because you're not watching it from me. So go watch Sungrand, okay? Everybody, from Miss Valley Entertainment News, my name is Dread, and I know the gaming news right now is just not as great as you want it to be. I completely understand. And I was really looking forward to February and making some great videos on what a great game Avowed is, how much fun I'm having playing it. But Matt or ma'am just seemed to kind of ruin it here. We'll see whether or not February comes, and whether, well, February should come unless we get nuked and the planet blows up. But I mean, hey, in that case, no one cares. February should come, but whether or not I end up purchasing the game and playing it at that time, we'll find out as time goes on, because I don't know the answer right now. Keep your stick on the ice, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.